Here is your latest African news. Congo Brazzaville. Congo Brazzaville to get Africa's first artificial intelligence research center. The United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, UNECA, is set to launch the region's first artificial intelligence AI research center in Brazzaville, capital of the Republic of Congo. The facility, which is a project by UNECA and the government of the Republic of Congo, is a groundbreaking center devoted exclusively to advancing research through artificial intelligence in order to advance digital technology in Africa in areas of digital policy, infrastructure, finance, skills, digital platform, and entrepreneurship. The African Research Center on Artificial Intelligence will provide the necessary technology education and skills to promote Africa's integration, contributing to generate inclusive economic growth, stimulate job creations, break the digital divide, and ensure Africa's ownership of modern tools of digital management. The center will offer training in AI and robotics for researchers, youth, and interested citizens. It will also offer the same skills to talented elementary and senior school students. The pursuit of a Master's of Science degree in AI and Data Science in collaboration with the University of Denis Sassou Nguesso will be available at the AI Center. Nigeria sues JP Morgan over $1.7 million over Malabu oil deal. On February 23rd, a high court began hearing in a lawsuit filed by the Nigerian court against JP Morgan, a US bank, in the infamous Malabu oil crisis. Nigeria is seeking more than $1.7 billion in damages from the bank for its role in the continuous agreement. Shell and Eni paid the Nigerian government $1.3 billion in 2011 to acquire an oil block prospecting license. However, it was claimed that roughly $1.1 billion of that money wound in the account of former petroleum Minister Dan Etet's Malabu Oil and Gas. The money was allegedly used to pay political bribes. Nigeria claims that JP Morgan was grossly irresponsible in its decision to transfer funds by oil giant Shell and ENI into a third-party account controlled by former oil minister, who also faces charges in the Italian courts. The London case dates back to 1998, when Nigerian military rulers awarded the offshore oil field license OPL 245 to a company former oil minister Etet owned. South Africa's EFF slams World Bank, IMF loans. Supporters of the Economic Freedom Fighters Party rallied in Cape Town to denounce South Africa's borrowing from the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund. The protesters had gathered outside the venue where Finance Minister Enoch Godwana was delivering the annual budget speech. Last July, South Africa's Treasury announced it had secured $4.3 billion from the IMF. The EFF denounced the lenders as economic terrorists. In January, the country took $750 million from the World Bank to strengthen its pandemic response. The EFF has slammed the loans as genocide. South Africa's finance minister warned that economic recovery will be difficult if borrowing continues. Diaspora. US abolition newspaper revived to combat racism. America's first newspaper dedicated to ending slavery is being resurrected and reimagined more than 2 centuries later. The revived version of the Emancipation will push for racial justice and equity as the United States continues to grapple with its legacy of racism. The initiative is a joint effort by Boston's University Center for Anti-Racist Research and the Boston Globe's opinion team. The publication is expected to launch in the coming months and will feature online content, podcast, video, and public events. The newspaper plans to highlight a wide range of content by respected scholars and seasoned journalists. They say the goal is to reframe the national conversation around racial injustice that will be achieved partly by elevating the voice of the marginalized and minority communities and covering news events from their perspective. The initiative is funded by philanthropic and public donations, and the content will be available to the public for free. Zimbabwe. Chinese miners ditch controversial Quarry project. Freestone's Mine Private, a Chinese mining company, has informed authorities at Civic Center through a notice of cancellation that it will not advance investment plans at Dangamvura Mountain for quarrying activities. In an unprecedented move, Freestone Mine wrote to cancel, informing of its withdrawal from the 5-year lease agreement to mine for Quarry in a project which faced public condemnation at a 6.5-hectare piece of land. Civic society organizations, including the Center for Natural Resource Governance (CNRG), United United Mutare Residents and Ratepayers Trust UMRRT and the other interest groups had petitioned Council and the Minister of Provincial Affairs Nkontula to stop the deal. Mhakwe Heritage Foundation Trust Director David Mtambirwa said this reversal was justice for advocates of environment protection, social justice and rights group pressing for restoration of indigenous values to local heritage. He said protection of indigenous heritage species and natural capital is under threat from weak environmental regulations, which they are advocating for improvement through ongoing consultation on the review of the Environment Management Act. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, follow, share and like our video. It's the best way of supporting us. Great news, you can now pre-order our children's book Maua and the Gardens of Plenty, a book that teaches children the power of great ideas. This book is the best way to start exposing your children to African stories told by Africans. Find the purchase link in the description below. You can directly support this new series by becoming our YouTube member, Patreon or donor. And remember, Africa is watching.